Can someone explain to me exactly how to not believe and not believe at the same time? I don't even know what that looks like. I can't even picture it. Let's do this. Hi everybody, BionicDance here. So, I want to have a discussion about a certain point of logic, and yes, you can see where the baggage is in this question, but let's divorce it from all that for a moment and talk about just this one point. Is it possible to not have something, but to also not lack it? Is that possible? Is it possible to not be without something and also to not have it at the same time? Because as I see it, that's not possible. That's logically incoherent. I can't even picture what that would look like. To not have something in my hand, but to also not be without it. How do you do that? Because as far as I'm concerned, it's a binary system. You either have or you don't have. You cannot do both at the same time. You cannot do neither. You have to have or not have. And it doesn't matter why you have it. It doesn't matter why you don't have it. Either you have it or you don't. On or off. It's got to be one or the other. There is no middle ground here. There is no gray area. Have or don't have. So, what I'm curious about is why people are disagreeing with this. Because there are a fairly large number of people who seem determined to disagree with this point of logic, who just cannot see how it is impossible to be doing both of these things at the same time, or to not be doing both of these things at the same time. They just don't seem to get it. And honestly, the more I talk about it, the more I talk about it with them, the more I think it's not so much the message as it is the messenger. Because it sure does seem as if some people anyway, have taken an irrational dislike to yours truly. In fact, I've been tempted several times to make a video coming out in favor of rainbows, sunny summer days, and lollipops, just to watch people flip a shit disagreeing with me and coming out against those things. Well, let's try and divorce the message from the messenger. I realize that some of you are going to say, oh, this is just an argument from authority, but really it's not. It's just taking someone who is well respected and pointing out how they say the same thing too. And if you're going to disagree with them as well as me, okay, maybe you have a point. But if you're going to just disagree with me because it's me, well, then here's someone that you're going to have a harder time disagreeing with. It's not an argument from authority. Really, it's not. Because you can still disagree, and that's fine, but I just want to make sure you're disagreeing for the right reasons. So here's Matt Dillahunty making the same damn point.
Yes, but the words have meanings, and theism carries with it the meaning that one believes there is a God, and that is a binary position. Either you believe that there is a God, or you do not. There is no in-between.
Maybe you can change that's the fun thing about any dividing line is you can take an eraser, erase that line, and have...
No, you can't.
Objectively, wait.
No, you cannot.
Objectively, one is true and the other isn't.
No, you are not understanding me. Okay. You are not understanding me because you are setting up a false dichotomy. I said either you believe that a God exists or you do not believe. That is not the same thing as you believe a God exists or you believe no gods exist. That is something different. There is a single claim. God exists. Either you believe that claim or you do not believe that claim. There is no middle ground. There is no line to erase. I can draw you a Venn diagram that demonstrates it. This is logic 101. There are no middle ground options. What you're doing...
Make a statement that I think we can both agree on, and have you tell me if I'm right.
Okay.
That in the objective sense of truth, one or the other is true, but both cannot be true. It's either true that there is a God or it's true that there is no God.
Correct.
Both are incapable of being true.
Correct.
I can believe whatever I want. I can
You're
believe
right.
both.
No, you can't. No, you can't. You cannot do that. How can you possibly do that?
Things aren't logical sometimes.
No. It's not a matter of not being logical. No, stop. It's not a matter of not being logical. It's a matter of honesty. You cannot simultaneously say, I believe there is a God and I believe there's not a God. One of those is a lie. One of those you don't really believe, you're just saying. You cannot be in that position.
Now, what I would love to hear is somebody to make a coherent, rational case for how you can both not have and not lack at the same time. Because I've never heard anyone do it. Oh, I've heard people try, but I've never heard anyone actually make a logically consistent case for how that's possible. I've had someone make a case where you could do both at the same time, both lack and have. I've heard that done, where somebody had one of those split brain personalities where the lobes of the brain aren't attached anymore and they both develop separate personalities and one side has and one side lacks, or one side does both or both the other. I've heard that, and that makes a certain amount of sense, but I still have never heard a logical, coherent case for how you can be doing neither at the same time. Oh, I've heard people claim that they are not a theist and not an atheist, but usually their definition of atheist is much more restrictive, and that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking how you can not have and not lack belief at the same time. I would love to hear a logical, coherent case for that, because I still to this day never have. Until next time, fellow space travelers, this is BionicDance saying don't run on automatic. Instead, please think. Please take the time to rate this video. And hey, if you dig what I do, subscribe. And please visit my Zazzle store, where you'll find all kinds of BionicDance merchandise. Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot. You know what they all had in common? They didn't rate, comment, or subscribe.